Dear students, I am going to teach class 7 chemistry, chapter 2, physical and chemical change. In this chapter you will learn types of changes, physical changes, chemical changes, changes involving change in state of matter, changes involving changing energy. It's a very easy chapter. You know that there are different kinds of changes continuously occurring around us. For example, falling of leaves, rusting of iron, formation of day and night, then ripening of fruits, growing of a child into an adult, cooking, burning of paper, burning of fuels, melting of ice, boiling of water, so many. Now, all these changes are categorized into different types. Some changes are desirable. That means these changes we want and these are useful to us. Some changes we want and these changes are useful to us. For example, curdling of milk, ripening of fruits. We want these changes and these kind of changes are useful to us. That is why these changes are called desirable changes and undesirable changes. Some changes we do not want. We do not want to take place these changes, that is these are harmful for us. That is why they are called undesirable changes. For example, breaking off an utensil or rotting of fruits and rusting of iron. There are some other examples also can be given, because these changes are harmful to us. That is why they are called undesirable changes. These are very easy actually. Then reversible and irreversible changes. Reversible means can be reversed. Some changes can be reversed. They are called reversible changes. For example, when ice melts, water is formed, and when water freezes, ice is formed. That means this change can be reversed. For example, stretching of a rubber band. When we stretch a rubber band, it becomes longer in size, and when we leave it, it will get back its previous shape. That is why it is a reversible change. So the changes which can be reversed are called reversible changes. These are some of the examples. Folding of paper, stretching of a rubber band, and melting of ice. When we fold a paper, we can give a very short size, but when we open the paper again, the paper will get back the previous shape and size. That is why folding of a paper is a kind of reversible change. Now, irreversible changes that cannot be reversed. The changes that cannot be reversed are called irreversible changes. For example, curdling of milk. If milk turns into curd, we cannot get back milk from the curd. That is why it is irreversible change. Burning of paper. When a paper burns, ash is formed. From the ash, we cannot get back the previous paper. That is why these changes are called irreversible changes. Then exothermic and endothermic changes. Exothermic means the changes in which heat is produced. The changes in which heat is produced is called exothermic changes, and the changes in which heat is absorbed is called the changes in which heat is absorbed are called endothermic changes. Examples of exothermic changes: burning of candle. When a candle burns, heat is produced. Burning of fuels. When fuels burn, it produces heat. When fireworks, fireworks. These are some of the examples of exothermic changes. And endothermic changes: cooking of food. When we cook food, the food due to absorption of absorption of heat, the food become hot. When water boils, the water become hot due to absorbing heat. That is why they are included in endothermic changes. So the changes in which heat is absorbed, they are called endothermic changes. For example, cooking of food, boiling of water, melting of ice, etc. Now, physical and chemical changes. There are some changes which are temporary and no new substance is formed, and the chemical composition of the original substances, the chemical composition of original substance does not change. For example, melting of ice. When ice melts, water is formed, and the composition of water and ice same, and we can get back ice from water. That means the change was temporary and we can get back the previous substances. That is why it is a physical change. So what is a physical change? It is a temporary change in which no new substance is formed and the chemical composition of the original substance does not change. Example: melting of ice, freezing of water, folding of paper, etc. Then chemical change. Chemical change, it is a permanent change in which one or more new substances are formed and the properties and composition of the new substance are completely different from the original substance. For example, rusting. Rusting, when rusting of iron, it's a chemical change. When iron objects are left exposed to moist air, then a brown flaky layer develops on their surface. This brown flaky layer is hydrated iron oxide and is called rust, and the process is called rusting. Rusting of iron is a chemical change as a new substance is formed. That means the rust is a completely new substance and the properties of rust are different from that of iron. That is why it is a chemical change. For example, next one, what is given here, curdling of milk. Curdling is the process by which a liquid, that means milk, transforms into semi-solid mass, which is called curd. Curdling of milk which is formed. Now the curd which is formed consists of different composition as compared to the milk. That means the composition of curd is different than that of the composition of milk. For example, milk is a liquid, whereas curd is a semi-solid substance, and we cannot get back, the curdling of milk to form curd is and we cannot get back milk from curd. That is why